What is happening, everybody? Hello, hello. How is everyone? I missed you guys. I didn't get to do a live stream last week. I was all sick. How did the audio sound? It wasn't like messing up or anything, was it? Hey! Okay, it must have sounded okay then. Best patterns for soloing? Ah, man, there's so many. Pentatonic. I missed last week anyways. Yeah, you know what? I ended up not being able to have last week's. I got sick. With the beard, you look angry. And without the beard, you look happy. Oh, nice. So how is it? Sorry if you see me looking back and forth. I'm looking at the chat, too. Big Red Tower in the hizzy. What's up? Woo! Sounds good. Awesome. Any advice on a pedal that has chorus and tremolo? Unless you're... the only pedal I know is like... I have the HX Effects, which has a lot of effects on it. Or maybe something like the Eventide H9. Bless you. Well, thank you. Delano, what up, what up, what up? What's up? Ghetto tuners, a good upgrade? You know what, man, I honestly know nothing about tuners. I've never changed a set of tuners, ever. Five simple leads and Nickelback riffs. Nice. Well, thank you, man. I'm glad you guys dug that. Yeah, I had to take that one video down and re-upload it because I messed up the audio. Shouldn't say I messed up the audio. My computer messed up the audio. My computer is just, I think it's gotten too old, and I really need to think about upgrading it. But I just have to wait until February to do that. Then I'll probably just bite the bullet and invest in a new computer. But how's it going on the pedal board? It's going good, you know. It's kind of a losing battle because as I go, then I'm like, oh, you know, maybe I could add this pedal too. So you'll have to see. The biggest thing holding up the pedal board and what brought the idea of the pedal board is a couple of products that have not been released yet. And I'm just waiting on those. Sorry, I was reading the comments. I'm just waiting on those to get released. Tour of my music room. I actually have a studio tour already on my channel from a couple months ago. So that's pretty recent and up to date. There we go. How long have I had long hair? I've had long hair pretty much my whole life that I can think of. I mean, obviously not my whole life, but the majority that I can remember, other than 1 year. Our electric guitar is good. I think they are extremely good for their money. I really enjoy my Dan Electros a lot. Like, I think they have such a cool and unique sound to them. So I think that they're very good. 12 string. Oh, I haven't tried one of those. Friedman small box or pink taco? I'd probably go small box, to be honest. What up, homie? You're bald. I'm sorry. But there's nothing wrong with that. My dad is bald, so it was a whole like toss up Am I gonna be bald? You subscribed to my channel 30 minutes ago. Whoa, hello there. Justini Luna? Is that how you say that? Welcome. Rockhole inductees. I don't even know who's being inducted this year. I don't really keep up with that stuff, to be honest. How do you feel about I had a Harley Benton. They sent me one to check out, and recently one of my wife's friends in her jiu-jitsu class was wanting to start guitar, and they were going to go, buy probably like a Squire starter kit or something like that. And I was just like, oh, dude, you should just give him this guitar. So the Harley Bentons are significantly better than like a starter guitar. So I think that they're great for the money. I'm not sure if they've raised the price on them or anything like that, but I mean, it's not like I would play the Harley Benton over my Les Paul or something like that. But just as like a fairly inexpensive guitar, I think that they're very good. Any solo CDs coming out? Yeah, actually, so what I'm going to do this coming year, I have a lot of stuff that I plan on doing. I'm really excited about so many big projects that are going to be going on this coming year. And one of the things is I'm going to try to consistently every, 3 months or something like that, basically put out an EP of when I demo something, I write a song for it, and a lot of you guys have asked me for those songs. And that, essentially, I put out a 4-song EP earlier this year, and a lot of you guys really liked it and wanted it. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to kind of do that from now on as one of the things. And then I actually have 2 new lesson packs ideas that I've been working on. This year was the first year I've never put out a new lesson course. I've actually spent the whole year working on essentially 3 different courses. The one is still a ways from being completed, but I basically just took the whole year and spent the time working on them to try to make basically the courses that I should have been more aware that people wanted, but essentially, if you're part of my mailing list, you've probably gotten an email asking you in one of the emails that asks you a question, what is the hardest thing about playing guitar? So many people have been nice enough to take the time to respond to that email, and I just have this huge catalog now of insight from you guys being like, oh, this is what people struggle with the most. So I've just kind of taken the year to kind of take that information, reflect on it, really read and answer as many emails as I could. So I think the next 3 courses that I have planned are going to be very good, and they're not going to be, I don't want to say the other ones were random that I have, but I have a very clear vision on how these are going to build you from a stepped process, if that makes sense. So the other ones have all been very technique influenced and lick kind of ideas, which was always more, basically all the courses I've made so far were all the ways essentially that I liked to do courses. Like when I bought a Rick Graham course or something like that, but basically it was licks, and he just kind of showed you the lick, and that was the concept, and that's what I always liked the most. But I've gotten a lot of good insight from you guys, so I'm really excited about it. We're almost at 200K, dude. So here's what happened. This stream right now was supposed to be the 200,000 subscriber stream, and YouTube sent out to YouTube creators basically an announcement that they were clearing out spam accounts, and I lost like 200 and some subscribers the other day, and I was just like, no, you totally ruined the whole weekend, YouTube. Like I had it all planned out. We were gonna be hitting 200K tonight. It would have been the live stream. But so it'll unfortunately I probably won't be able to do a live stream when it's happening, because it'll probably be on Monday or Tuesday now. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for that. I really, really appreciate it. Play some John Mayer. Probably not on this guitar, but when I switch guitars here, I will. Sorry, I'm trying to go back in the cello. considering getting a Fender Custom Shop Strat or a Friedman Cali. I know they are different, but build quality. You know, I have basically, I have two Friedman Strats here. They're not mine. If you want to see them, I can show them to you. Just personal preference, having played many Fender Custom Shops that are amazing. You can't go wrong with it at the end of the day. But I don't think necessarily that they were worth more than the Cali. You know, I think that the Friedman stuff is just has that mojo. You know, that's what I always tell people, and everyone who I know who's gotten one of them has all said the same thing. You know, my buddy has 2 vintage tees and a Cali. Another one of my friends just got a vintage tee and stuff like that. So I'm just like, I don't know, man. They've got mojo, and I've played a lot of Fender Custom Shops and stuff, and I've never gotten any of those, just because they didn't have that it factor for me. I lost my pick. Here it is. Like this guitar, like I feel like this guitar has like an it factor. Everyone who plays this, who comes over, they're just like, I don't know, there's just some guitars you play, and as soon as your hand gets them, you know it's like, oh, this is a special instrument, you know. Jeff, show the vintage. Sure. So to anyone, I can't remember who was asking about the vintage. So the Cali, yeah. So a Cali and a Strat would be significantly different. I mean, by all means, Cali is amazing, but I don't think that those two compare necessarily. But if you're looking for something more Strat-ish, which I don't know if you guys have seen this one yet. I'm sure in a live stream you have. But these are fantastic. I've made it a point not to play them too much because they're not mine, and I cannot keep these. My life will not allow it. But they are seriously nice guitars. So Grover and those guys have something real special going on. Creations for only 2 channels. P. Thorne and you. Oh, that's so nice, man. Thank you. But yeah, so this is the Vintage S. This is just straight single coils. And of the two, I prefer this one just because it has that humbucker in the bridge. As a lot of you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of Strat single coils. This one does a pretty good job. I still prefer the humbucker over it. But as far as the feel of both instruments, they both feel insane. Your leads, maybe you mean Les Paul? Les Paul's right over there. My least favorite Gibson. That's a good question. I don't know. I do not know. Favorite guitar pickups? Probably these. The Fishman Classics, you know, surprisingly. Rewinds those things, and Dave made such a hot hummer. Yeah, you know what? The pickups that are in the Cali are seriously some of the best sounding humbuckers I think I've ever heard. But the humbucker that is in that Vintage S, as far as a passive humbucker, it's like it sounds incredible. That's what I told my friend. I was like, dude, we were wrong about the Cali pickups. This humbucker's even better. But no, as far as like favorite pickups, it has to be these. I'm actually, the Fishman guys asked me if I would be willing to play at their booth at NAMM. And I was like, oh, shoot, yeah. Because I was trying to play less this year. Last year I had a very, very busy schedule. And I have a busy schedule, but more like meetings and stuff this year. So, but yeah, so they asked me about this and talking with them about some different stuff that we might be doing together. You know what? I've personally never liked EMGs. until I have those retroactives in that. I have them, but they're in the Iconic Evolution. Those sound very good, but other EMGs, I just didn't like them. They're the Fishman Fluence Classics. So here, I'll flip over so you guys can hear them. To me, what makes them so different from any other pickup that I found is, and I'm going to use words that I'm probably using incorrectly, but the frequency spectrum of these pickups was so wide. It was crazy because I had Seymour Duncan Antiquities in here, which are very nice pickups. They sound great, but when I put these in here, it was like a whole new guitar. It just sounded massive all of a sudden. Like whatever frequencies it's filling out, I just haven't found other pickups that do that sound as thick and full as these do. So here is some better audio if you guys want to hear them. And if you want to throw out riff ideas, Carry My Wayward Son, yeah, I'll try to play some of the stuff. There we go. So, but yeah, so there's just a little taste of pickup. I'm not very warmed up tonight, but, you know, it's, and for one, getting those pinch harmonics is so easy on here. Maple fretboard? Yeah, I have a few guitars that are rosewood. Yeah, but most are maple, you know, to be honest. Least favorite Fender is probably is it the Jazzmaster that has all the switches up here? I love that guitar. I don't like those switches. I hate the way that looks. So, if, you know, one without all those switches, I like it a lot. Maple necks are the bomb diggity. That's what. Oh, sip Starbucks. Man, I wish I had Starbucks. So what guitar do you guys want me to switch to? Got the vintage. I don't know if you can you see it back there? Nope. It's right here. Vintage T is on the couch, maxing and relaxing. Charvel, Cali, Green Vola, Dan Electros, Les Paul. Les Paul. Don't have any Ibanez. You buy the Jimmy Page Custom Shop Telly. No, I don't have enough blood that I can sell to be able to afford that thing. Vintage. All right, I'll do Les Paul and then vintage T next. Ugh. My God, this thing is such a boat anchor. Oh my God, I almost fell. And I unplugged everything. Whew, that would have been funny. I can't, it's dark right here, and I couldn't see that my wah pedal was right there. Heavy? Oh yeah, dude, it's almost 13 pounds. Ugh. It is the definition of a boat anchor guitar. You don't, that's why whenever I do a video and I stand and play this thing, I'm always like super hot and sweaty, because to shoot one of those videos can take an hour or, you know, or more. Sometimes it can take 2 hours to shoot all the parts and all that stuff. And I'll be like legitimately sweating, especially if I have like a jacket on or something in the video. It's really hot. You know, the hunt for tobacco burst Les Paul? Dude, try to find a 79 Les Paul KM. You will not be sorry. Just make sure it has the Gibson T-top pickups in there. That's where somebody like, yeah, right? So yeah, I'll flip back over. Better audio for you guys. Mine's super heavy too. Yeah, you know, I'm not like too picky. I used to really be kind of like against light guitars. I was like, it needs to be heavy. And now I just kind of like, I don't know if I'm just getting like lazier and lazier and I want lighter guitars or what, but I've just gotten to the point where I think the guitar has to really suck for me not to like it, because I appreciate how different guitars feel, you know? Like some people want to have 20 Les Pauls. And I'm like, I don't want 20 Les Pauls. I want 20 different guitars that all feel and play completely different. So I think when I tripped, I knocked it out of tune a little bit. Although I will say, on the comment of Les Pauls, I have particularly been sweating a gold top Les Paul with P90s after playing that 56 that I got to play when I was in Mississippi. Man, that was nice. And I'm so in love with P90s after getting the vintage T. So I'll play that one next. And God, they just sound so good. But anyways, here we go. So better audio. You guys won't be able to hear me talk, but who cares? You'll hear the guitar. There you go. Les Paul is being temperamental, as always. There we go. Les Paul in action. In actual, factual action. Oh, here it is. She's got them big guns. Bang, bang, shoot 'em like a firing squad. Oh, dude, Alexander, thank you so much, man. Dude, just to let you know, you're the bomb diggity. Has been a nickname for like 3 to 6 years in the Navy. I call copyright infringement. It's been my name, the bomb diggity. Man, dude, thank you so much for the super chat. That is incredibly nice of you. Would the Fishman pickups work for an Epiphone Les Paul? Shoot, yeah, man. Shoot, yeah. They fit just like a normal Les Paul. Now, I will say I did one thing with mine. Here, hold on one second. I don't know. I literally don't know a single Rolling Stones song. So, they are active pickups. So they do require a battery pack. And so you have to charge your pickups. But I've never had my pickups die on me. I just like, whenever I think about it, I just like put the charger on while it's sitting there. That's it. So I think they have you can either run them on 9 volts if you want to, or they sell a battery pack. It's a little bit more expensive. But, so my battery pack is actually right here. If you see that little spot right there. Now, I did have the guys at Acacia, they made me a new backplate for this essentially and measured where that was in, and they put the pickups in it for me. I sent them the guitar. But they're really cool. I mean, I have different voicings for my pickups. They have open core ones now. All kinds of stuff. So that's the only thing. But if you have like a traditional Les Paul or a Strat, they actually have backplates designed right for the screw holes and stuff like that. So they're really cool. Difference with active pickups. I found with active pickups, most of them I don't like. Like I've tried lace pickups, I've tried EMGs. I think lace are active, aren't they? And I was not a fan of them, to be honest. They were very compressed sounding, all the ones I played, other than those retro actives that are in that Evolution. I'll switch to that guitar next so you guys can hear those if you want to. But the big difference is active pickups are very compressed, typically, and to me, I usually don't like they're just super hot, you know? So, I don't know, maybe I'm weird. But, oh, Unchained, thank you so much. Would you recommend a Marshall Code 50 watt? I'm getting a new amp, and I want to see if that one is good. I don't have a lot of, first of all, thank you for the super chat. I don't have a lot of experience with the Code amps. I've heard mixed things about them. My buddy has one of the new Mustangs, which again I've heard from Fender. I've heard mixed things about those as well. But for if you're trying to do like more at home playing, I look into those katanas. I finally got to play a katana when I was in Denver doing a clinic, and I'll say, you know, all the hype around them, to me, I was like, all right, I get it. This thing sounds very good. So maybe look into the katanas. Years ago, the stock ones. Yeah, I'm just not a big EMG guy, you know. Until those retroactives, like I said, I will play those here in a second. Oh my God, Big Red Tower. Thank you. That's so nice. Fallen Angel 5 times. I'll do a super good. I'll do Fallen Angel. Well, I'll do it on this guitar. I'll just say I'll wait till I have the Evolution because it's more suited. But you know what? I think Fallen Angel would totally work on this one. So I'm gonna flip back over and let you guys hear this one. Also, I'm doing a collab with Cam Cooper. Sure, man. Cameron is an amazing guitar player. I have a couple of collabs that I'm going to do, and when I go out to NAMM, I'm just gonna have to see how my schedule works out. If I can work around some stuff out there to do some stuff with other guys who I'm friends with, who are in LA and all that. But hopefully it'll all work out. But anyways. Yeah. I have a Squire starter bass. It's awful. So here's a Fallen Angel. Thank you to all the people who've been super chatting. Again, that's incredibly generous of you. There we go. Let the good times roll. Say thanks for what. Oh, sorry. Thanks for what you do. You found ways to inspire me. Oh, thank you so much. Things different light. Oh, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you, Janice. Have you owned a PRS? So did you like? You know what? I've never owned a PRS, but there's been a few that I really liked. They sent me one of the John Mayer Silver Skies, which that was very nice. I really like the neck on those. I hadn't played a Strat that had that kind of neck on it before, and if I was to get a PRS, there's a few that I want. I like the Dave Grissom line. I like the McCarty 594. But if I got one of those, I really want to play that Blue Jean Blue, and then like a gold top, like Custom 24 or something like that. Here, I love it so much. I've been growing my hair for quite a while now. You know, I'm getting ready to cut some of it off because you can see how once it gets to this length and starts like muting the strings and stuff like that, I dock it back a little bit. Gonna be a grandpa? Well, congratulations, Quentin. That is awesome. Quentin's gonna be a grandpa. Quentin's gonna be a grandpa. Woke up today, I didn't have a clue that Quentin was gonna drop the bomb on me and you. 'Cause Quentin's gonna be a grandpa. You heard it here first. Quentin's gonna be a grandpa. Loving the fretboard decoder. Oh, dude, thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who took the time to get the fretboard decoder or like the lesson pack thing and all that stuff. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I think this guitar does sound amazing. You know, there's so many things that I like about this guitar a lot. You know, and I'm actually going to do a video about relic guitars because I think it's funny that people who like relic guitars would never go up to someone who had a new guitar and be like, that guitar's all shiny and new. It'd look cooler if it was all relic. You know, if you like relics, you usually like both. But someone who is like against relics always feels the need to come forward and be like, yeah, that fake relic and crap. You know, I think it's so funny that it like upsets people to a degree where they feel the need to comment. How about your original? Yeah, I sent that off. I sent that back to Acacia. They are putting Fishman pickups in that for me, so I'll have that one back soon. It has to have a new pick guard and all that kind of stuff cut for it, and I messed up the input jack. Are these my Friedman? This one is my Friedman, and the white Cali is mine. The other two are not. When I started talking with them about potentially checking out different stuff and demoing some things, Jeff, I don't know if you're still here, Jeff asked me if I wanted to check out the Vintage S guitars as well, and I was like, shoot, yeah. Look, literally, you just commented. Yeah, so yeah, the Vintage S guitars, if you saw those earlier, those are not mine. They are just loaners. That's cool. Yeah, the Vintage T here has a nice, it's a super comfortable, you know, fat neck. Yeah, and you know what's funny is I've been playing this guitar so much lately that I played my other telly, which is right here. I was playing it today, and I kept trying to switch pickups up here because on this one the pickup switch is up here, and I kept like switching to go to the neck, and I'm like, oh my god, where's the? I'm like, it's down here. I forgot. So. I've actually toyed with selling. If it wasn't for that having the more traditional Telly pickups in there and this having P90s, I would probably just sell my Fender Telly and get rid of it. This, yeah, this one is just so much better than. I like it so much more. It has a bigger neck. I think it sounds better. Got a Strat, need a Telly. Yeah, baby. Got to get that Telly spank. Poppy, snappy, sparkly, strat tone. See, Ravon, you know what? That's a good question, man. First thing is figuring out, what pickup he was using for that tone. And, he didn't use tons of distortion. So I think if you get too heavy on the distortion, it compresses your tone too much. And that's where a lot of that sparkliness leaves, unfortunately. Do I buy guitars without playing them? You know what? I was like dead set, like I have to play it before I buy it. But like I said, as I've gotten like older as a player, I enjoy how different guitars feel. Like I don't want guitars that feel exactly the same or anything like that. And so yeah, now I honestly I have no issue with buying a guitar without playing it. Now, which might seem kind of weird, but I know if it's if I'm confident in the brand that's behind it, that like, oh, I know they make really good stuff, so then I'm confident the guitar will be of high quality. I've bought almost everything through Sweetwater. My wife just got me for Christmas. It is back there. They're like, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, honestly, all I want is one of those Ernie Ball toolkit things. So I got that and just stuff for like, I'm learning more how to set up a guitar and understanding that side of things. Oh, Jacob, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Hang on, widens your... Yeah, exactly, Now, I do feel if it was something that was like 10 grand, I mean, which for one, if it's 10 grand, I'll never be buying it. But if it was like an expensive guitar like that, and I know like Guitar Center, you can have things shipped to your store. You just have to pay the shipping to try it out. Stuff like that, you have to try. I feel, but like I said, I'll never be buying a 10 grand guitar. So 200K soon, yes, so soon. If some of you guys probably missed it, but basically what happened was tonight was supposed to be my 200,000 subscriber live stream, and YouTube sent out a notice that they were cleaning out spam accounts, and I dropped like 200 and some subscribers yesterday. I was like, dang it, YouTube! Like we were right there. That literally the exact same thing happened whenever I was about to hit 100,000 subscribers. I was so pumped up, excited, and I remember I'd been like watching it all day, and I was like, oh, and I went by like an hour later or something and checked it again, and I had dropped like 100 people. I was like, no, so when you had to put your hands on guitar, yeah, I used to be like that. Yeah, I wonder where we are now. I have not kept up with it. Let me see. Where are we at? Sorry, I'm going to Social Blade real quick. So we are currently at 199,749. So we could hit it tomorrow. Potentially. So that would be awesome. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. So yeah, it could be happening tomorrow. Hi, Mark. You said you're kind of new to the channel? Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Huge fan. Appreciate you could shout me out and play the intro to Crazy Train. Well, shout out to Sky's Garage and intro to Crazy Train. Yeah, anybody who's not subscribed, hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. Awesome Possum. Yo, man. Diggity dog. Subscribe on your mom's account. Well, you and your mom, thank you. Why do you use the radius of the pick. I don't even know what that means. Woo! Sean Tubbs in the house. I almost texted you, man, to ask if you wanted to be on the stream. I just saw your comment go by, so I don't know if you said your Wi-Fi was messing up or not. But oh, Jack, thank you. You're a fantastic guitar player. By the way, have you ever considered buying an Ibanez, maybe an RG? Well, first of all, thank you so much for the super chat, man. Again, you guys are way too generous. Yes, actually, there's really only one Ibanez I want, to be honest. And what I really want is an Ibanez RG RG550. What year did Pixie say, or Steve say the best year? I think like a late 80s RG550 is what I want. And Road Flare red with a maple fingerboard. It's not so much. I'm not sure what that means. I think you're saying that your Wi-Fi is not working too good, man. Don't worry, eventually we'll figure this out. So I think this coming year, one thing I want to do is start having like live streams with other people. With Sean, I already talked to my buddy. Wi-Fi is Jack. Okay, there we go. I understand that one. I was just talking to Pete Thorne about doing some stuff. You know, I talked to Tim Pierce. Just all these guys I've become friends with, who are these amazing guitar. Just so much better than I am. I would love to just have them on here, and we can all kind of pick their brain and understand just some of the stuff. I think that's got to be one of the best things I think a guitar player can do. Is if you ever get into the situation where you can befriend these players who are just like, just amazing guitar players. And I think I've been like really lucky because there's like really amazing local guys who I've been friends with for years now. And you just kind of, I like to be around those people because I like to just listen. There's nothing wrong with wanting to play and jam. Or, it's like when we were in Nashville at Blackbird, Joey Landreth was there. So if you're not familiar with Joey Landreth, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to Sean if he pops up in the chat again. Definitely subscribe to Sean Tubbs. But Joey Landreth was there, and I was just like, man, I just want to like listen to this guy. I love listening to guys who are just, to me, like that next level of being good. And you'd be surprised how much you can learn just by listening. Hey there, Mark. Well, good morning. Top of the morning to ya. Oh yeah, I got the Play Pete's signature at GitCon. It's very nice. I loved the neck on it. A lot of your videos help me study that. Oh, well, thank you so much, man. Oh, thank you, Big Red Tower. Yeah, definitely, if you guys have not yet, Big Red Tower just put the link to Sean's channel in here. Favorite amp? You know what? I have favorite amps, I will say. I'm not always in one mood. Just like with guitars, it'd be like, what's your favorite guitar? I would answer the Les Paul means the most to me, but I'm not always in a Les Paul mood. Sometimes I want to play a Super Strat. Sometimes, same with amps. The two amps I find myself playing the most are definitely my Revv Dynamis, and then the Friedman BE50 since it's been here. Just because to me those are very polar opposite sounding amps. And different moods for different days. You know what? I can hack my way through some Racer X, but not the best anymore. I'll switch over to. Sorry, I got sidetracked. So you guys can hear the EMG retroactives, which are in the Evolution. And I'm telling you what, like I said, as a person who's kind of dogged EMGs their whole life, not dogged them, but ambulance going by, never been a fan of them. The retroactives are very good. So here they are. Check it out. And someone was talking about maple neck guitars. This is a rosewood neck guitar. Sorry, it's a maple neck, rosewood fingerboard. Does anyone else do that? When I say like maple neck, rosewood neck, I'm always talking about the fingerboard. And there's, usually people will be like, no, that's a maple. I'm like, I know that this is maple, but I just view this as being the neck for some reason. So I'll switch it over here for so you guys can hear these. I know I have like way too much distortion for like an actual comparison, but yo, it's rock and roll, baby. What are we gonna do? There we go. So yeah, sorry, I saw a bunch of questions. You know what? I don't honestly know. I believe these are passive, but I think EMG calls them as not being passive. They're retroactive. I don't know what that means. There is no battery compartment, though. But it's just kind of one of those things. I don't know. To me, it's passive. It has a real nice brass block in here. I think that helps out with the sustain. A Floyd is kind of a tough guitar. One of the reasons why I think Tellys or just anything that's hard-tailed, that the strings go through the body, I just think that it just rings together so well. And even like a strap bridge, having the string go all the way through, I think that makes a big difference. But I think that having this brass block in here, and whatever these pickups, whatever's special about them, they sound great. And to me, it almost doesn't sound like a Floyd Rose guitar, if that makes sense. So I'm sure anybody who has had a lot of experience with guitars that have a Floyd Rose on them will know what I mean by that. The Cali is another one it has a big, is it the Cali? Yeah, it has a big steel block on it. Now, the Charvel, if you look at it, and that's why I don't think that this guitar sounds the best. It has this very small, probably zinc, I would imagine is what this is, block on it. And I just don't think this guitar has the best sustain. It has one of the most rock-solid necks ever. I've never adjusted this thing, but yeah. There was another one. Yeah, so again, you can see this is a vintage S. Look at the giant block they put in here. And I feel like that makes up for, they're trying to add mass to stuff like this. So, yeah, it all depends, you know. A really well set up Floyd Rose guitar, I think, I can't see the back on the Vola. I would imagine they probably have a pretty big block in them as well. Yeah, I can't, there's a back plate on it. But see, the Charvel just looks cool. So it doesn't need to sound the best. It looks cool. Rat. Probably the one I was just playing. Love and Use a Dirty Job. I've always loved that one. Hold on one second. I know. We are so close to that. Hold on, send the text real quick. To the bromance, which is Jeff. Yeah, man, we're getting crazy close. Look, Stone, exactly. Just play 10s. You know what? What guitar was it? The Cali. The Cali, I thought had 9s on it. And, you know, but I think it had 10s, because whenever I broke a string on it, doing a 2-step bend, always not the best decision, but I broke a string on it, and I was like, oh, this guitar has 9s on it, because it felt kind of slinky, and I put 9s on it, and I was like, this guitar did not have 9s on it. So then I just put a set of my 10 to 46 Cleartones on it, and adjusted the neck a tiny bit. And the thing plays like a dream now. I'll switch to that one next. I don't know any King's X, but thank you so much for the super chat, Dave. Yeah, so I've seen people keep mentioning Rat. They're Rat again. I want a woman that won't drive me crazy. So I'll switch to the Cali, because the Cali, I'll show you. So even though Eddie is the guy that made me want to play guitar, it's Warren DeMartini who really got me into wanting these super strat looking guitars. Like, to me, this makes me think of his cross sword guitar. Floyd sound. So it hurts. Oh, nice! I did not know that. This is a German Floyd, so I don't know exactly what it's made of or any of that kind of stuff, but mainly play Ibanez. I can't get Jeff Squad. Yo, Jeff Squad! What up, man? Jeff Squad in the house. Let me see something. Call the cops because of the noise you were making. They arrested me instead. That's right, man. You don't stop rock and roll. No, it's actually very, very quiet in here. My wife asked me, she's like, hey, I'm going to sleep. Can you not be too loud? So you'd be surprised. I'm sure like when I switch the audio, it sounds very rich and full over there. That's why one of the reasons why I'm playing through the Axe effects. But it's pretty quiet over here. Maybe Jeff too. Sorry, but there is but one Jeff. But you can be Joff. So here, I'll switch back over to better audio for you. I'll do the Love and Use a Dirty Job again. I'll try to play it better this time. But you can hear the Cali. I think these are some of the best passive pickups that are out there. If you're looking for pickups to try, I think they might have just... Did I see it on Instagram? Jeff will know. Did you guys just launch pickups? That you can actually buy these now? Whatever these are in the Cali, sick pickups. And in mix, they sound incredible. That's why I use this guitar so much. For solos and stuff, and videos. They just cut through the mix. It's crazy. But Jeff will let you know. Jeffy. Yes, sir. Yeah. See? So you can actually get these pickups now. And the that neck pickup on the Vintage T with that P90, yeah, it's really good. Anyway, so here's the Cali. Here's the humbuckers in action that I keep going on about. I can tell when I'm trying stuff that I'm not warmed up to do. Oh, man. There we go. I'm talking about the Yankee Rose. Give me those bright lights, city lights. I'm talking about the Yankee Rose. Yeah, baby. What do you think about the current Rat lineup? I honestly haven't kept up with it. I know there's something going on with Steve Piercy. If Warren D. Martini's not in the band, I don't care. I'll be totally honest with you. It'd be like watching Extreme without Nuno Betancourt or something like that. You know, I saw Dokken without George Lynch. Who's the guy who's in there now? He was really good, but you know, I wanted to see Lynch. Do I know any X, Y, doom, doom, doom. Is that tuned to D? I can't remember it. Down, 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 down. Tourism. I live in Tampa. You're up in there for the free tour. I didn't know that that's where Dean was at. Improv advice. I think the more rhythmically you can play, the better. And I'm not some like great improviser or anything like that. I enjoy improvising. I love jamming. I like to improvise when there's another guitar player there. It's not as fun for me anyways to like put on a backing track and just kind of improvise over it. Because for that kind of stuff, if I'm doing like a song, I like to write. I love writing a solo is one of my absolute favorite things about a song, is because I love to kind of see like what it's gonna pull out of, what the song's gonna pull out of me, like what's gonna happen here. Am I gonna come up with some new licks? Am I gonna use old licks in a new way? Stuff like that. So as far as improvising, I really like doing it when there's another player there. There's something about the chemistry behind jamming with someone. I love that because there's this real give and take kind of thing to where they'll do some crazy lick and I'm just like, oh, it's almost like it's competitive in like the best way possible. They bust out this crazy lick and I'm like, okay, that's how we're gonna be, all right. Then you bust out a crazy lick and they're just like, oh, so it's going down now, and you just kind of like build off each other in this like very fun way. So I think for improvising, it's play rhythmically and like I said, listen. Just really listen and pay attention. And I think that one of the big things that I've learned throughout the years of playing is don't be afraid to to play exactly what you want. And what I mean by that is if you want to do something that is more showboaty, as long as you're just kind of like, if it's serving a purpose, like if I do like some kind of thing like that, or like the Zach Wild, what does he do? Like don't be afraid to throw that stuff in there. So, still loving you. I don't know how to play that one, unfortunately. One was so thin, I sanded through. Oh man, ugh, that's a rough one. What are my thoughts about Chapman guitars? I get asked about that a lot. I actually owned some Chapmans back in the day, and I always just kind of have the same response. I have not tried their British Standard line, which I think is their like new highest end line. Based on the Chapmans that I had, like I said, which were years ago now at this point, I think that to me they've raised their prices, I think, a couple different times, and I think that it's put them in a more competitive bracket where I'm, probably going to choose another guitar over them, just being honest. Not that they're bad guitars, it's just, I think in the old price range that they were in, I could see it more, but just as a personal preference now, I'd be like, I'd probably go with something, I'd probably go with a PRS or something like that, especially once you get into that $1,000 mark. You can get into the like U.S. stuff, which I'm going to be biased. U.S. guy. I want to buy U.S. stuff as much as possible. Did you sell? I did sell the SG. So that was actually pretty cool. So what happened with that? Here, give me 1 second, guys. So what happened is I don't know All the Way Cool Jr. So when I posted that picture, I had to take it down. I was like shocked how many people messaged me about that SG. And if you did message me and you didn't get a response from me, I'm so sorry. There was literally, I'm not trying to over exaggerate, but probably like 100 emails about that guitar, and you know, I just finally couldn't respond to everyone anymore. But so basically, what happened is, I sold it for the same price that it was just going for used online. I wasn't trying to make money. I mean, essentially, I was losing money on it. But the person who ended up getting it was this kid who was in 8th grade, who I didn't know he was a kid at the time, was just messaging me back and forth, and he wanted it as his Christmas present. So he, his mom sent me the money and all that kind of stuff, and boxed it up, and he was so excited. But he sent me a clip of him playing it, and I'm gonna post it on Instagram and all that stuff. And I just thought it was so cool. So I threw in like a pedal and picks and strings and a guitar cable and strap and all kinds of stuff. I think maybe I didn't put a strap in there, but yeah, I was like, you know what, that's really cool. And I know how much I would have appreciated that when I was, 15 years old or something like that. Get a guitar, an SG, and all that stuff, and then kind of open it up with some extra, pedal, whatever else. I can't remember what I put in there now, but yeah, I thought that was really cool, and I was excited that that's who it ended up going to. Just this, just super enthusiastic. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, I think it is awesome that it went to a kid. Download good for a beginner or more advanced. I've heard they're harder to play. Actually, I think a Dan Electro would actually be very good for a beginner because the necks are so small. It's another guitar, kind of like how the Charvel has that very small neck on it. The Dan Electros have a very small C-shaped neck. So I think for a beginner that would actually be an advantage, just having that smaller neck. And what would be best? I mean, I can't think of anything that's hard to play on any of them. So if you find one that's inexpensive or something like that, or if you're buying a new one, I think they're great. What's a Flying V? Nice. The electric guitars, they are. I think that's their whole thing, man. Dan Electro's been around for a long time. I think that they were around, weren't they? And then they didn't. They just they went away, and then they came back and relaunched. And I love the look. Yeah, and like I said, they're very 50s, and I think that's cool. What is the model I'm currently holding? So this is a Friedman Cali, and these are incredible, instruments. And this is one of those guitars I was talking earlier about. Whenever your hand touches them, as soon as you grab the neck, you just you're holding something special. So it's if you're into if it means anything to you, the legacy that is Grover Jackson and stuff like that. These guitars, other than being amazing instruments, the history, the fact that Grover Jackson is building them was one of the big deciding factors for me, anyways. So to some people that could mean nothing, but to me, I think that we owe. I mean, Grover did a lot for guitar. Guitar Pit, yo, what's up, buddy? What's happening, my man? Did you get that new guitar? I won't say what it was, but did you end up getting it? Down on Main Street. Switch guitars real quick. Let's go even more 80s. Can you go more 80s than this? I'm not talking about the Charvel either. Oh yeah, baby. Oh man. What you gonna do now, huh? No more 80s. Another guitar that is not mine. Oh, did I miss a super chat? I'm so sorry. Oh, Lee. Wow, thank you so much, Lee. I'm going to Nashville for college for an audio engineering degree at Belmont University. Any tips for me? I move on in life and pursue music. Yeah, man. Well, for one, you're going to like one of the best places ever for music. Nashville has is also extremely competitive, but you're going to be surrounded by such inspiring stuff. And I think one of the best things that you can do nowadays is to really like diversify the field of which you're in. So you're in music. I'm in music. You're in music. We're obviously very different. You're going to school for it, for audio engineering. But try to wear as many hats as possible. So like me, I obviously make YouTube videos. I teach. I make videos for other companies and stuff like that. Teaching videos, product demos, all kinds of stuff. But I missed another super chat, or I think it's what I'm answering now. There's a delay. But just try to wear a lot of different hats. I think because then the more assets you have to offer a company, the more valuable you are to them. So if you're just a guitar player, they're like, oh well, he's a great guitar player. But if you are good with social media, if you're good with understanding how social media works, understanding how to do video, pictures, all kinds of that stuff, they're like, well, he's also good at guitar, but he does all this other stuff too. So I think that just make sure that the more you can offer a company, it's like if you're like a side guy, and they probably want you to be able to sing as well for backup vocals and stuff. If you're just like, nope, I don't sing, I won't sing, then you might be a better guitar player, but they'll go with the other guy who's like, I don't sing, but I'll learn, something like that. So I think just you want to make yourself as valuable as possible. So maybe while you're going to school for that, try to take, a media communications thing. Maybe like that can be like your minor or something like that. Please play Understand Him. I think I played that riff wrong. I don't know if I've ever sat down and learned that one correct. But there's my advice, man. Hopefully that's not too boring and somewhat helpful. Maple fretboard affect the tone? I think yes. You gotta hear Old Man Dan. Have a great night, man. I think yes, in different ways. My buddy Daryl Braun just posted a video where he was basically saying no, it didn't. And I don't know to what degree it affects the tone, if any at all. I feel like it affects tone because I think that they do feel differently. And like that was one of the things I loved so much about that iconic Evolution is the fact that it had that rosewood fingerboard on a Strat, and I was just like, oh, it just feels very smooth. Or like on the Acacia has an ebony board, which I think again feels very smooth. Maple is just something I'm used to, but I do think that they feel differently, and I think that it makes you kind of play a little bit differently. Like Maple, it makes me dig in a little bit more. To me, it's not as smooth as the other ones. So that could just be like a subconscious kind of thing, but you never know. So it just depends on the person. But I'll be totally honest. I go with Maple because I just like the way Maple looks. It's not like a sound thing. I just love the way a Maple fingerboard looks. So it makes me want to play. I missed another super chat? Are you sure, Quentin? There's Lee. I got his. I can't go back any further than that. I don't think I did. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll switch over so you guys can hear this guitar, too. This is a fantastic guitar. If you guys are more into the Ibanez stuff, to me, basically, this guitar fixes everything I don't like about Ibanez. And that's not a dig at Ibanez at all. It's just, it has a more shredder style neck, but it's a little bit bigger. You know, it's not that super thin like an Ibanez. Now, if you like that, you know, more power to you. I'm not dogging on it. I just don't like that those necks actually hurt my hands to play them for very long. But this has a slightly more, probably like D profile. It's still thinner, but I like that it's a little bit of a thicker neck. Now, this kind of looks like the Ibanez S series. And again, the body is a little bit thicker than those. I didn't like how thin those bodies were for me. So this is a slightly thicker body and a thicker neck. And I'm like, well, that was two of my biggest complaints of all. If there's anything at all, maybe I wish this guitar had, which this doesn't actually personally bother me, but some people it does. Maybe a little bit more of a contour here, if possible, for your arm. But I'm used to playing Tellys and Les Pauls and stuff like that, and they have no contour, so it doesn't bother me, to be honest. But I know some people like that. Yeah, I like the color on this one. I love the maple. And it's funny, someone commented on one of the videos I used this guitar in. They're like, you know, it wasn't like a mean comment. It was just like, they're like, I would recommend using something with dots of, you know, fret markers on it for doing teaching videos so people can know what fret you're on. I'm like, oh, dude, I honestly didn't even notice this guitar doesn't have fret markers on it. I never use the dots on the fingerboard. I just use my side dots. That's what I've always used. So when I'm playing, I never look at my fingerboard. I'm not kind of like looking like that. I just look at my side dots. But here, I'll let you guys hear this one as well. Clicked on the wrong thing. Here we go. Won't be able to hear my voice, but you can hear this. Check it out. Retro shred song. I don't even know. I did see a question. Sorry, when I was playing, Al says, new to the channel, put it on high-end cables. You know what? I actually have some very high-end cables that I had gotten because a friend recommended them to me. I use Hosa cables now, which I think they're probably about as high end as I'm willing to go. They're Edge series, which is about $30 a cable or something like that, which I still think is expensive, but these are Vola brand pickups. And I have this cable right here. If you see this, this is a company called Analysis Plus. I think they're still around. These cables are actually rather expensive. I will say this cable was probably a little over $100, which it might seem kind of ridiculous to pay this. I had a lot of noise issues, and I will say that the higher end cables like this did help a little bit with noise. I was surprised. It did help that. I don't know how big of a tonal difference there was necessarily. I have a video on it. As far as like, I've had that cable for years at this point, probably 3-4 years, and it's still working. I actually shut that cable, or maybe it was the other one. I shut it in the door of a car at a show, bent it completely sideways, bent it back, still works. So, it's kind of tough, but like I said, I think the Hosa ones that I use now are plenty good. There's just too many like tone things. You can run down that rabbit hole. $100 for a cable. Yeah, like I said, it's not sustainable. At least not for me. I don't want to like blow crazy money on that. Nice, yeah. Like I said, the Analysis Plus stuff is incredibly nice cables, but you maybe invest in one cable, like what I did, and try it out. Sand-filled cables, is there stuff? Nah. Yeah. So Guitar 7.7. Yeah. So basically, once I almost ruined one, I only used them here. I didn't take them out anymore. I think in like a studio situation, it totally makes sense. I think that there are audible differences with noise and stuff like that in those cables. That I will totally like believe and buy into, because I felt like that they were more quiet in just my normal home studio setting. But maybe not so much for getting road cases rolled over them and stuff like that. Although I will say I've rolled over this red cable 1,000 times in my chair and haven't had any issues with it. Buy a decent cable, but I have $5,000 in gear, $10 cable. That, yeah, see, that I agree in. I think that cheap cable. You know what? I'll tell you something that I did not know made such a big difference in sound with noise. Is power supplies. I had these cheapo, like $10 9-volt adapters that I bought from Walmart, and I just kind of used them, and some pedals would be noisier than others. And I got one of these. It's what's actually pounding my wall right now. You can get this or like a one spot. This is from Snark that makes this one, and I was completely impressed. I actually have a second one too, with a splitter, so I can have like multiple pedals hooked up to one power supply. But if you've never tried an actual guitar 9-volt adapter, I was blown away. I think Wampler maybe makes one too, because I didn't know until Brian did a video about this. And I was like, my stuff is noisy too. And I, just got a nicer 9-volt adapter. Like I said, this is a Snark one. And poof, gone. Like, it wasn't like a slight difference. It was like a huge difference. I was like, that is impressive. I did not know it would make that big of a difference. Oh, maybe. See, now look, I done unplugged it and messed everything up. Yeah, and one spots aren't that expensive. I just think that buying the ones that are at like a Walmart and stuff like that, they are definitely not thinking of designing that thing around musicians in any kind of way. So look into a One Spot, the Snark. Like I said, if I think Wampler might have one. I think those, maybe they're a couple dollars more, definitely worth it. Put on Schecter guitars. You know what? I played one of those Sun Valley Super Shredders while I was in Germany. My first trip over there, Schecter actually sponsored half of that trip. Thomann sponsored half, and Schecter sponsored half. And basically, they just, I had to use Schecter the whole time, which was fine because, I like Schecter guitars. And the Sun Valley Super Shredder is the one I played and liked so much. And they're, relatively inexpensive compared to other guitars. And I loved it, played it for a week, and, I wanted one afterwards. If it wasn't for the fact of having other, at the time, my Charvel, what else did I have? Did I have another Super Strat? I might have sold some stuff since then, I can't remember. What do I think about Greta Van Fleet? I like Greta Van Fleet a lot. I thought their album was weird. I didn't quite get it. You know why? It was so different. They come out with this like rockin' song. Oh. And then the rest of it was so different. So bad. Yeah, so like I said, Schecter was nice, and when I was in Germany I stayed with my buddy Henning for a while. And they sent us, I think, 20 guitars. They were just for one video idea I had. I wanted to do Sweet Child of Mine, one note at a time, and on all different guitars. So it's like 20 different Schecters they sent us, which was incredibly nice. They let us give one of the Sun Valley Super Shredders away. It was cool, They were very, very kind and gracious to us. Oh, Lionheart. Thank you for the super chat. It's very, very nice of you. Thank you very much. Some blues. I actually don't know how to play that, man. I ain't a Nashville guy. I don't have to learn that song. So let's go plug this. Ugh. Oh, baby. Oh, look, a pick. Huh. Let me tune this thing real quick. The Schecter? What Schecter do you have? My buddy has a Hellraiser. I love Rush. I have to go out tomorrow, so I better go to sleep. Man, well, good luck to you. Have a good night's rest. Looks like you, what did I say? Have more lipstick on your lap. Wife is going to be jealous. Gustavo, Ibanez, any other brand? Well, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm going to have to disagree with that one, but Ibanez makes some very nice guitars. What are their new guitars? The AZ series. Those are very, very nice. I like those a lot. So let's hear this. The Dan Electro was a double lipstick pickups and then that P90 in the neck. I'll tell you what, the Dan Electro is having that P90. Lee, thank you. Oh, we got a battle, a super chat battle going on. ESP, any other brand. Thank you for the super chat, man. The Dan Electros having this P90 in the neck is what convinced me when I was looking into the vintage tees from Friedman that I wanted it to be double P90. You know, originally I was kind of like maybe humbucker P90, maybe just go humbuckers. But after I had these, I was like, no, I want P90s in both. As good as these already were in the neck, I thought that probably the P90s that were going to come in the Friedman would be even better. And in the bridge, I was like, I bet that's a single coil I'm gonna like. But anyways, here's the 59 XT Danelectro. Could literally play Led Zeppelin all night long. All day, all night long, all night long. I already played Ocean. Already played it. There was a comment I saw. Sorry, and I thank you to Lee and Gustavo. Your guys' super chats were hilarious. You had me cracking up while I was trying to play. I can't remember any Roy Gallagher off the top of my head, unfortunately. I have learned some stuff in the past. Are you in Australia, Robert? Nope, I am not. I am in the good old US of A. In Ohio, actually. Yeah, Led Zeppelin is one of my favorite bands ever. Van Halen, my number one band. I bet Led Zeppelin's got to be number 2 for me. Wait. I don't know how to play that one, unfortunately. I need to learn that. That's a killer riff. Laundromat. See, that's... I can't remember it. I know it's out of A, I believe, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. There we go. Sorry. Had something pop up. Thought you were from England this whole time. I do not have an English accent. You are talking to a South Carolina born, Ohio raised guy right here. That's how I get all them real cool cotton a holler, fried your cornbread sayings. That's from being raised by a very southern dad. How do I balance a relationship and playing music? I want to advance my guitar playing. Oh, sorry. A lot of comments came in. But my girlfriend requires a lot of time. What should I do? Thanks. That's a really good question, man. And to be honest, that's just going to be a lifelong struggle. Every guitarist I talk to pretty much has a very similar issue. A really good friend of mine, I won't say his name, but we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. And I think the issue is anytime it doesn't have to be just guitar, wrong girlfriend. Yeah, luckily I had, which is, now she's my wife, but, she's always been very supportive of that stuff. But, anytime you have something that you're, passionate about, whether it's, maybe you're really passionate about sports. extremely passionate about music and guitar, so I can only speak from that area of actually expertise, but of knowledge. It's something that I can't turn off in my head ever, and I think you just have to like understand that and learn how to like prioritize things. And like I said, for me, it's so hard. Like if I'm at least for me, I'm the type of person when I start working on something. If I get up after taking my son to school and stuff, and I start working on a video, like I've always had the mentality, and this comes from my dad. Once I start working on something, I don't stop working on it until it's done. With stuff like a video, a song, like I will go the whole day and not eat if I'm trying to get something done. I remember many times, putting up fence posts and stuff with my dad. We grew up on a farm. We'd get up, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, be out there till 6, 7 o'clock at night, not stop. That was just kind of the mentality about stuff. You can stop when you're done. So that's always been my mentality. So sometimes, you run into these situations where you're not done and you have to stop. And it's such like a struggle because it's a huge mental thing to be able to fight that off. Hashtag farm life. And to walk away from a project for a little bit and be like, I'll come back later. Because for me, it's hard. I like to work on things until they're done. So you just have to like figure out ways to do it, Country music is fun. Farm emo. It's all about communication. Yeah, so I think every person can be different, finding that balance. But that's one of the things that me and my friend talked about. I was like, do you ever have those situations where, and he's the same way. He's like, it's so hard, like you're trying to do something else, but in the back of your mind, you're just like running through. I'm like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do this. And, and I think that comes from like a very like passion-driven thing. Because, when you love what you do, you want to do it all the time. So you're just, it's hard to turn that off, My wife, who plays guitar and is passionate about that stuff too, but on a different level than what I'm kind of like all engulfed in it. She's like, God, I can't stand to listen to music with you. Just because even when, like, you guys know, you're all musicians. When you're listening to music, you hear music differently than what a normal person who doesn't play an instrument hears music. When I'm hearing music, I'm just like, oh, I love what that bass is doing. And I'm sure many of you can do the same thing. You can hone in on just one instrument when you're listening to a song and almost like tune the others out. And, she's like, God, I hate, because I feel the need to point it out. Because I'm, when I'm around my friends and stuff like that, we're all musicians, so we're just like, did you hear that, what the bass is doing there? So, yeah. It's a weird thing. I think being a musician is an incredibly weird field to be in. Acid Drop Baby, LOL. Well, first of all, incredible name. I'm just going to come out and say that. Voodoo Lake, awesome, bro. Also, I'm a country boy, too. Well, right on, man. What is your take on upcoming musicians? Any tips and advice for them? I'll play Voodoo Child here for just a second. And, I think any kind of tip nowadays is, it's basically the same tip I gave earlier. I don't know if you were here or not. But make sure that you have, and thank you, Jeff. My wife is an awesome photographer. Basically, you have to just wear a lot of different hats. A lot of you guys ask me on here, like, is YouTube what you do full time? And I'm like, well, yes and no, at the same time, because if I only did YouTube, we would never survive. YouTube does not pay you that much, contrary to popular belief. A lot of people seem to think that YouTube, just hands out money, and it really doesn't. I definitely want to come across ungrateful for the money that YouTube does pay for making videos and stuff like that. But it's not enough to live off of. It's actually nowhere near close enough to live off of. So you have to figure out well, what else are you going to do? So what I do is I teach. I sell like lesson packs. Like, I spend a lot of time, months essentially putting one of those together. And so you do that stuff. Like I said, I make other lesson videos for other companies. I do clinic things. I travel and do different stuff like that. So all of this stuff equals, kind of like, I guess, like surviving essentially. So if there's anything I can do is just understand that there's very few situations nowadays where just being a great guitar player is good enough, because there's a million of those guys out there. So what are you going to do? It's like, well, they're great at guitar, but you can be great at playing guitar. You can be great at talking to a camera or talking to an audience of people. I was just talking to another student today who was asking me about getting nervous playing in front of people. I was like, well, I don't really have that issue, because I've always said in live streams and videos that when I have a guitar in my hand, it's when I'm the most confident, because I feel like it's what I'm meant to do. I'm meant to be a guitar player. When I started doing clinics and had to start talking, to an audience of people, that was very out of my element. But it was a great challenge to try to get better, and I feel like I'm much better at it. Now I'm not nervous to talk into a microphone and talk to a group of people or anything like that. But that's another thing, So you could have an amazing guitar player who's not very good at communicating stuff with people. And I think a great example of that, and I'm not dogging on the guy at all, but like Yngwie Malmsteen, amazing guitar player. Now he's a legend, of course, but his instructional videos are not the most useful content you're gonna find, out there. So, but and there's already an Yngwie, so he's there's amazing guitar players everywhere. So just make sure that you offer as much as you can. So like I said, if you're in school, I took media communications and stuff like that. So I was learning about video editing, production stuff, different using I use like a lot of like Photoshop, all that kind of stuff when I was in school, which helps me out a lot now. Gustavo, I'm more of a guitar tech than a player. Oh, well, see, and I'm just getting into the guitar tech world. I'm trying to get better at it, and understanding how stuff works. It's all a process, because everything takes some level of expertise. Recording audio, dialing tones, just playing guitar, editing videos, technician work, like what you're talking about. It's very time consuming to learn how to do it. So I just take it in stride, and I just do it when I have time to do it. Oh, Orange Shoe, thank you so much. You didn't leave a comment. Thank you for your super chat, and Gustavo. If you wanted to say something and you happen to send it too far, I'll try to keep my eye on the chat. I'm a 16-year-old who absolutely dreams of becoming a professional guitarist. My mom is against it because of the money. How do I overcome this burden? Ironically, she married a drummer. Maybe just, I'll never forget a conversation a teacher had with me at school, and she was right and wrong at the same time, because we had to do a big project about what we wanted to do, and my project was, being a musician, of course. And I just remember the teacher telling me that, well, you really need to have a plan B, and because this is a very hard field that you're trying to go into. And I'm like, well, my plan B is my plan A, so I'll figure out a way to make it work. And it just, and that's what you did. You just figure it out. That's always been my mentality. Is just, you get these huge obstacles in front of you that suck, that make you anxious, that make it feel like it's impossible to get by. But then you just kind of step back and just be like, all right, what does this take? What is for me, it's been multiple times. Whenever I finally quit my real job and started just guitar full time, which was many years ago now. But I remember that first summer when I had all these students drop off, like half my students left because I was doing in-person lessons. I had to sell a bunch of gear. But again, you just kind of step back and like, all right, we got bills to pay. all right, I got 5 guitars over there. 4 of them can go, you know. And I did. And I sold like one of the few guitars I regret ever selling was a Strat that I had, and I wish so much I could get it back. But it's you know, you just have to be, I think, willing to have that do what you got to do mentality about it. Perseverance. There you go. That's the word of the night. So, you know, just kind of decide what kind of player you want to be. You know, are you the person who wants it so bad that, you know, there is no other option? And if that is, then you'll find a way. You'll figure out a way to make it work. It might not be on that stage in you know, in an arena, but I tell you what, man, being home every day, having but still being able to have a guitar in your hand, to me it's a great time to be a guitar player. 10 Man, what is your favorite blues riff, and what is your favorite Zeppelin riff? Ooh, good question. Thank you for the super chat, man. Again, very, very nice. Keep some of the guitars, and it sucks. Dude, it's a brutal time whenever, you know, it's 100% a luxury to sell gear because you want to, and it completely sucks to sell gear because you have to. It's a whole other realm, and it sucks, and I bet there's not a guitar player you'll talk to that hasn't went through that. I mean, like I said, there was a point where I just had I had a Fender G deck, and I had my Ibanez. Actually, no, I sold that. I remember. What did I have? Oh, my white Charvel. That was basically the only guitar I had left, was my white Charvel. I remember I went from like having like 12 guitars down to basically like 2. And it sucked. And you know, but it's part of the gig, you know. You just have to do it sometimes. But that's also the great thing about guitar is these things that you spend all this money on, at the end of the day, it's also kind of like an ATM. Like, you can move them quick if you have to. I mean, I just sold my SG that I had, you know, for a different purpose, you know, to fund me wanting to get another guitar. But at the end of the day, I was just kind of like, you know, what do I have that I can sell? Because, you know, I want this other guitar. I'm like, oh, the SG, I'm not really playing it. Sell that thing. So I've never been a gear hoarder. You know, I've always been willing to sell something I'm not using. Someone was asking me earlier about how do you afford all this gear? I'm like, man, if I'm not using something, I get rid of it, and I take that money and I put it into something that I am going to use. So, but now that I see that they respect me for it. Oh, well, see, that's great, man. And sorry, 10 Man, I will get your questions here in just a second. Oh, dude, the Mocha Bros? I hope I'm saying that right. Dude, thank you for the super chat. All you guys, man. Hey, anyway, you can play Grateful Dead. Also, you're a dang fine player. Well, thank you very much, man. That's incredibly nice of you. I don't know any Grateful Dead, though. I've taught it before, but I didn't retain it, I'm afraid. So I'll do some stuff here in a second. But Tin Man had asked, what's my favorite blues riff? And I think I just like this, like, it's like a simple one, but if you're like... just that like simple little bounce. I don't know why I love it. I'm not doing it very good right now. I haven't played it obviously in a long time, but just that little like that bounce, that do 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 do. I don't know why I can do that all day. And yeah, I think that's a fun favorite Zeppelin riff. There's so many Zeppelin riffs that I love. I don't know, man. There's so many. I don't think I can pick one. I just love so many. The first one that popped in my head though was the one to Bring It On Home. Or the Celebration Day, Actually, you know what? No, I know what it is. 10 Years Gone. That is my favorite Zeppelin riff. The hands down, favorite Zeppelin riff right there. Gustavo, dude, thank you for the super chats, man. Parents never supported me, but I kept going through it. You know, I remember, but my parents were, and you know, like I said, there were so many things that I was just very fortunate to have. Essentially, you know, fall in my lap. You know, I had very supportive parents, very supportive wife, all this kind of stuff, and you know, I feel very fortunate in that. But I remember, you know, I think my parents started realizing pretty early on that I was very serious about guitar. I was very like interested in it, and that was why they let me get. I had my starter guitar for like 3 months, and then they let me get an American Strat, which is the one I had to sell to buy food. And like I said, I think they realized early on that I was so serious, so they let me get that. And essentially, what the deal was, they co-signed on the guitar, you know, so you could take it home and make payments to the store to get the guitar. And I worked all summer for my dad. He owned a construction business, and I did what we call groundhog work. So I was doing tear-off stuff and picking up trash. They had these huge jobs, wheelbarrows full of shingles and tar and metal work and all this kind of stuff. It was awful. It sucked. But that was how, you know, I got the guitar. I earned, I think it was like $900 and some after everything. I'm pretty sure my parents like let me skip a payment or two here and there because I wasn't keeping track of it. You know, I was just like paying money. But yeah, you know, we worked really hard for that guitar, and that's the one that I had to sell, and I really wish that I still had it. I don't think a bad Zeppelin riff exists. So much Pantene. Gotta pay to play. That's right, man. Hashtag Pantene. So many guitar stories. I need to write them all down. Yeah, man. Make videos about that stuff. Share. You know. Have a good night, dudes. Later, Josh. Thank you for tuning in, man. I love my 89 Crackle Sharp. Nice! Dude, they're such cool guitars. But, favorite Journey solo? One Love. Is that the one? Fuels of Fire. Trying to think of the solo to that song. I like that solo a lot. Or it could be When You Love a Woman. It's one of those has my favorite solo in it. I can't remember though. Dream guitar, just like a guitar I'll, you know, never own. You know, 59 Les Paul. Why not? Out of here. You're out, Brad Miller. Later, buddy. I don't know any Queen solos, you know? I didn't heavily get into Queen. I love to listen to Queen, but I never like learned a lot of their stuff. And it's a shame because Brian May is an incredible guitar player. How to take care of long hair video. You know what? My wife jokes around about this all the time because I literally do nothing to my hair. I just wash it and comb it, and that's it. And she just always jokes. She has curly hair, so she's like, you know how long it would take me to like do my hair to have it straight and be like yours? And I'm like, is it longer than the 5 seconds that I invest in mine? I do like orange amps. I have 2 orange amps actually. I was just playing through the Rockover 50 Mark III. use so much Pantene. No, I've never learned any Polyphia stuff. I have a couple of their songs, though, on my phone. Interested in Variax thing? No, not too much. I don't really like the way those look. Diego, hey Robert, what's up, man? Did you think you were going to be where you were when you started playing? Cheers. Definitely not, man. To be honest, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I wanted to play guitar, for sure. But important thing to remember, I've been playing for like 13 years now. And when I started, YouTube and all that stuff didn't exist. So the thought of being able to offer Skype lessons and teaching people all around the world and making videos wasn't a thing because that just didn't exist back then. It was years before YouTube would come around. MySpace was a thing. I remember I had some like video stuff from like the band I was in on MySpace, but that was kind of it. And that didn't seem like it was, anything really to do. So no, definitely, it was just kind of, it's kind of funny how things work out. Because like I said, I went to school for media just because it seemed interesting, which was video editing and video production and audio and stuff like that. And little did I know, all these years later, once I graduated in 2008, so once I graduated, I started kind of like doing some YouTube stuff, and I started watching other people, and I was like, oh, and got more and more into it. But it, the background that I had in the video stuff really came into play more as I kind of liked doing it more. Decided to invest in cameras and all that. So yeah, like initially, no, it was definitely no way to like predict any of this stuff, but I sure am thankful for it. And so much of that is. Can I get the vintage? Oh yeah, I had the vintage tee out, man. I'll get it again. But yeah, I mean, and there's certainly not a day that goes by that I don't understand and appreciate how much you guys have had to do with that. So always know that I appreciate all the support that you guys are nice enough to give me, because I wouldn't be here without it, to be honest. And not play. Oh, Gustavo, thank you so much, man. You know what? No, I never really have like guitar depression. I can say. I don't think I've ever had that. I'm not trying to be a jerk by saying that. I just don't think I've come across that. But I'm sure maybe just listening to other players or trying something different might be a good, solution to that. Got here late. Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, look, here we go. I got it again. I should have a demo on this guitar very, very soon. And as well as the vintage S's, and I have some Vola guitars. I'll tell you what, my favorite thing, as a lot of you guys know, I demoed a lot more gear this year than I ever had before. And a lot of it was because I just wanted to check stuff out, because I'm doing this big pedal board project. And it was really fun. But as far as something that I legitimately like to demo, I love demoing guitars. I think it's so fun. I love checking them out, and it's a blast. So I have this to demo. I have the 2 vintage S guitars to demo, the Iconic Evolution to demo, 2 different Vola things. So lots of guitars to demo that I want to do. So I'm really excited about it. Good. 2 is heavy. Yeah, man. The P90s have been very eye-opening for me. Show me what you got. Yo, let's make this one count. This will be the last guitar of the night. So I'm going to riff out. You guys can throw out songs if you want. It's about as good as it's going to get at 1 a.m. Whew. Oh, look, Acacia Guitar. Play the Cronus demo song. You actually missed it, man. I started the night off with the Cronus. So, sorry, man. You missed it. You missed it. Actually, that was the Cronus demo. So, here's the Cronus demo song, though. Call guitar practice services. Sounds great. Thank you, guys. Thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Thank you to all the people who were super chatting. That was crazy. I've never seen anything like that before on here. That's very, very nice. Yeah, in all seriousness, I love the Cronus. I love all these guitars. But yes, oh, ice cream, man. Sometimes that babe needs something to keep you cool. Sometimes that babe needs something to keep you cool. There we go. Anyways, yes, sorry, I get distracted very easily. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, all the super chats, that was super nice. Super chats are super nice. It's your birthday? Well, Gary, happy birthday to you. How much donations for you to stop? Yeah. Oh, Jeff, still in the chat, man. The best. Dude, Jeff, thank you so much for sharing that stuff. Sorry, I just saw your message that you sent. That was incredibly nice. We're almost there. We might hit it tomorrow. We're at 199,772 subscribers. So we might just be knocking that out of the park. To anybody who happens to still be interested, I'll post a video about it tomorrow. So there's no reason. But the Guitar Course sale thing is still on. It's linked in the description somewhere. But we're going to be bouncing on out of here. Again, thank you guys. Gary, it was your birthday, so... There you go. Happy birthday to you. Have a great one. Gustavo. Nice, sir. Yes. Have a great night, everyone. Peace out, homies. New video on Monday. I'm taking tomorrow off. I was Guitar Pit. If you guys haven't subscribed to him, make sure you subscribe to Chris. He's a really good guy. But he was just saying, he's like, dude, you're like pumping out videos. I was like, man, I wanted to hit like 200K so bad this weekend. So I was doing a video a day for the past week. And I was just like, then YouTube did the thing where it dropped 200. I was like, dang it. So I was like, you know what? I'm just taking the weekend off. You know, trying to do that big push to make it to the weekend burnt me out. So I'm like, you know what? I have a bunch of videos planned for next week. So Monday I'll be back at it. Tomorrow I'll have a video. Just a reminder about the lesson sale thing going on. But Jerry, sorry, duh. Now it makes me think of Parks and Rec. How is his name's Jerry, but they call him Gary. Thank you, man. China Guitar Skeptic. What's up, buddy? Another guy you guys should subscribe to. Look, everyone's popping in here at the end. Zach? Man. How are you guys doing? Sorry, I was reading the chat. How long have you been playing guitar? 13 years. You think I'd be better. But, yes, in all seriousness, I am out of here. Make sure you check out Guitar Pit. Steve from Boston. Why is everybody showing up now? Steve from Boston. China Guitar Skeptic. Guitar Pit. Sean Tubbs was here earlier. What's up, guys? What's poppin', YouTube family? So, I will see you all later. Have a great night. I'm actually going to end it this time. For real, for real. And have a great night, guys. Later!